Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be ranking the MCU movies, so let's get into it. Welcome back to the next episode of SamDjanShow, where I talk about pop culture. Then I'm ranking the DC movies. Now, I did rank all the MCU movies. I did that last week. You can check out my channel. Um, so yeah, let's just get into it. And there are 30 movies. As of right now, there are 30 movies. The latest one is Shazam! Fury of the Gods, which that is in cinemas as of right now. So let's just get into it. Now, starting with number 13, I have Suicide Squad. Now, this movie, I don't like this movie because I feel like there's just too many plot holes. There's just too many. I feel like the story wasn't good. Some of the characters are good. I'll say maybe Katana was good. Amanda Waller, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, and Rick Flag. I thought they were good. Enchantress, I don't think she was a good villain. Cara Delevingne was good. I just feel like they didn't give her enough material. I love Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. You have cameos with Batman and the Flash. I don't know, like Jared Leto's Joker. The fact he's only in this movie for 5 minutes. I didn't. He was okay in Zack Snyder's Justice League, but yeah, this movie, um, yeah, what was to be said about this movie? It's just the people keep asking for the Ayer cut. I don't know if it will happen. Like, I kind of just want to see the Ayer cut because I want to see what David Ayer visioned what the movie would be. But at this point, I'll see we'll get it. I think maybe we might get it. They might put on the Blu-ray, but I don't. I doubt we get HBO Max. They might put HBO Max and they might put Blu-ray later, like we did with Zack Snyder's Justice League. But I don't see it going out theaters or anything. But yeah, that's Suicide Squad. It's not my favorite one. There's bits in it that I like. I think the chemistry between the cast is good. I just feel like they just get wasted on this terrible script. The cinematography is not good. I hate how they just use pop songs. Like, go back and watch the trailer from like 2016 where I showed the Bohemian Rhapsody, and they just changed it. They took it to a music studio. They re-edited the whole film and added more pop culture music. They're trying to make it like Guardians of the Galaxy, and yeah, Suicide Squad. Number 12, I have Justice League. This is the one that came in 2017. Justice League, directed by Zack Snyder. What? Just Sweden, but yeah, I don't blame Joss Whedon because I feel like the studio mandated him. I feel like they pushed this movie back. It probably could have been good. I feel like it would have been better if Joss Whedon just made his own movie and not tried to finish one other director did. But it was already too much money and they spent too much money on the reshoots. Justice League. Now, I saw this in cinemas and I actually liked it. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, this movie is just not good. And especially now that we have the Snyder Cut, this one is just not good. There's bits I like in it. I like the Deathstroke meeting Lex Luthor, and I liked when they were going to assemble their own team. I like Superman and the Flash racing. I think that was good, but other than that, everything else is just I don't like what they did to the Flash and Aquaman. Aquaman doesn't really do anything. Cyborg is like they cut all his backstory. Wonder Woman and Batman have the most to do. Superman, the way they CGI'd Henry Cavill's lip is. I remember I saw the beginning of it. I didn't even know they CGI'd the lip until people kept mentioning it. Yeah, the CGI, the plot holes of Steppenwolf. Like Darkseid isn't there. You have Steppenwolf, and it doesn't even tell you his motivation. It's just CGI. It's just so bad. And I don't like the jokes. They're trying to make like the Avengers, and yeah. So Justice League is not my favorite movie. It's not worse than Suicide Squad. Like if I'm being honest, I'd rather watch this than Suicide Squad because I feel like as bad as the movie is, I still think it's way more enjoyable than Suicide Squad, and it's like 2 hours, which yeah. Number 11, I have Wonder Woman 1984. Now, this is the sequel to the 2017 movie Wonder Woman. Now, I remember when they announced this movie, I thought it was going to be good because I love the first one so much. At that time, that was my favorite DC movie. And I was looking forward to the sequel, and we got the trailer. It was supposed to come out in November 2019, and they pushed it to June, and then they pushed it to, I think, October, and then it finally came out December, and it came out Christmas Day 2020. And I didn't see this in cinemas. The reason I did not watch this in cinemas is because this came right in the pandemic. So yeah, this movie, I feel like this movie is just terrible. I feel like the plot holes. I think Pedro Pascal is the only good thing in this movie. I don't like Cheetah. I think Christian Wiig is okay, but I just feel like they didn't give her the right material, and the way Cheetah looked was so bad. Like my Wonder Woman is okay. Steve Trevor's good. I don't like how he came back. I don't like the way he came back, and uh, I didn't like the flying when the way she flies, it just looks so bad. Like the Golden Eagle armor, I liked it, but I just feel like she didn't need to do. She didn't need it. Like she could have done it in the regular suit, but yeah, and I don't like there's barely any references to the 80s. There's really no, like, I don't know. Like, I prefer 111 more than this. I would have liked to see 113, but part of me is like, I don't want to see it because I'm like, it would be exactly like 118, which we are getting Paradise Lost, which is a prequel in the DC universe. I think eventually we will get one of the movie. That I still think Gal Gadot is still one of them. We recently saw in Shazam Through the God. So yeah, that is 184. I feel like this movie is just disappointing because I was expecting this one to be as good as the first one, and it just wasn't. So yeah. Number 10, I have Birds of Prey. Now, from this list onwards, these ones I consider good. The previous three, they're the only three movies where I consider bad. The first 10, these ones I consider good. Now, number 10, we have Birds of Prey. Now, I feel like the problem with Birds of Prey is it didn't know what it wanted to be. It was trying to be a Birds of Prey / Harley Quinn movie. And I think the cast is good. I just feel like you have Margot Robbie, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Johnny Smollett-Bell, Rosie Perez, Chris Messina, L.A.J. Basco, Ali Wong, Ian McGregor. I love Ian McGregor as Black Mask. I thought Margot Robbie was good as Harley Quinn. Yeah, because Cassandra Cain isn't like the comics. I love Black Canary. I love Huntress. I just wish Huntress was in it more. I like Renee Montoya. I love Black Canary. We are getting a Black Canary movie that I don't know if will happen now. It was supposed to be HBO Max original, so it might be a theatrical. I don't know. I haven't heard any. All I know is Michelle Green, who did Lovecraft Country. She was gonna write the movie, but and Johnny Smollett was supposed to come back. I love Black Canary. I like what she did to Scream at the end. It's just I feel like the problem with this movie is that they made it rated R. I think it was PG-13. It probably could have been better because there's really like all there is just the swearing. I say if they cut most of the swearing, I think it probably could be good. But I kind of wish the movie was longer. It was 1 hour 40 minutes. I kind of wish it was 2 hours so they could have developed the characters more. I don't like how Huntress is only like in the beginning and she's not really important until the end of the movie. I like the ending. I like how this is probably the most colorful DC movie. Yeah, it has problems. Like I feel like the marketing was bad. Like the trailers weren't bad. It wasn't telling what the movie was about. Um, Also, I feel like they called it Harley Quinn and the Fantabulous, the Birds of Prey and Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. They should have just called it Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, which when this was in cinema, they changed it to Harley Quinn Birds of Prey a week after. Now I watched this, I think 2 weeks after the movie came out, so I had Harley Quinn Birds of Prey. So they should have just called it Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, which I like the cast. I hope they just get Huntress and I hope they get Renee Montoya, Huntress, and Black Canary, and Cassandra Cain, and they just do like a HBO Max series with them, and they just bring Leslie Grace back, and they could do a proper Birds of Prey. And Margot Robbie, like I would like to see another Suicide Squad with her. I would like to see Gotham City Sirens, but yeah, that's Birds of Prey. I love it. I know a lot of people don't like this movie. I love this movie. It's just I like how it's its own Elseworld. I just like this movie. I don't like how Batman is in here. I kind of wish Jared Leto would have been better if he was in this movie, and also Jim Gordon. But yeah, it's Birds of Prey. Number 9, I have Black Adam. Now this movie was announced like as far back as 2014. This was announced in as well as Shazam. Shazam happened first. And then it was announced that when it was announced that Black Adam was not going to be in Shazam, I was like, oh, he could be in the sequel. And then he was in the sequel, and then they got the Daughters of Atlas. And I was like, oh, we'll get. And I thought it would be Shazam 3, but I don't think we're getting Shazam. I think Shazam 3. I don't even think it's gonna happen now because Shazam Through the Gods isn't doing well. So Black Adam, now he's Shazam's main villain, and I like this movie. I think the problem with this movie, I feel like the story wasn't good, and I don't like the villain. But the effects are good. I like Dwayne Johnson. You have Noah Centineo, Aldis Hodges Hawkman. I love this Hawkman. You have Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. You have Sarah Shahi. She was good in this. You also have Quintessa Swindell as Cyclone. And yeah, I don't like the villain Sabak. I feel like he was just a throwaway villain. But I like Black Adam. The more I watch, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's not that good because besides the action, I feel like the story brings it down, and the villain, and yeah, I like how I think like this is probably the most connected DCEU movie. Like Amanda Waller's here, you have the Wizard, you have Amelia Harcourt, you just have Henry Cavill coming back as Superman, which is the last time. So he might be in the Flash, we don't know, but I feel like I don't think there's a future for Black Adam. They might do. I think maybe I don't see them doing Black Adam 2. I think maybe Dwayne Johnson can show up in the future. I don't think Dwayne Johnson will the point. I think if you give him the hair and the pointy ears, he could be good. I feel like the problem with I think his ego just got in the way. Like they asked him to cameo in Shazam Fury of the Gods, he said no. So and he didn't want Shazam show up in Black Adam, which kind of sucks. And there was also supposed to be post credit scene in Shazam where I think Cyclone and Hawkman were supposed to recruit Shazam, and Dwayne Johnson he shut it down. Which I like The Rock. I just feel like his ego got in the way and it kind of ruined what could have been a good franchise. But yeah, it's Black Adam. I think the problem with this movie is they came out way too like this was supposed to come in 2021. It's been pushed back. It finally came out in 2022. And yeah, this is the only DC movie in 2022, so Black Adam. It's an okay movie. I go and watch it here and there, but it's not one I go back to. I think I watch it occasionally just for the action, but yeah. Number 8, I have Aquaman. Now, this was the 6th DCEU movie. This was the first one released after the disaster that was Justice League. Now, this movie was on so much pressure because this was the first DC movie after Justice League. This came out December, like over a year after Justice League came out. And it was a good movie. It was a blast. It was good. I love Jason Momoa, Amber Heard. It was great in it. I love Nicole Kidman, Tamara Morrison. I like Willem Dafoe. I like Patrick Wilson's Ocean Master, Yahya Abdul-Manti, the second as Black Manta. I love the trench scene. I love the training. I just love this movie. I love the war. Some of it is good, some of it's not. This one was the first DC movie to make $1 billion, which was huge at the time. And this pretty much kept the DC. I feel like if Aquaman bombed, the DC would have probably abandoned. They would have rebooted straight away. But because it made $1 billion, we can continue doing these movies. But I love Aquaman. I like how it's self-contained. Like there's one mention of Steppenwolf. I love Aquaman. It's just a good, fun movie. I watch it here and then. I'm looking forward to. I am excited for Aquaman and Lost. I think the problem, like Aquaman, Lost Kingdom. I just hope the story is good. I feel James Wan did good with it. I just feel like I have a problem with the story. Like I feel like there was just too many jokes and it was too cheesy. I just hope Aquaman Lost Kingdom. I hope it's a bit more serious and it's not as cheesy as this movie. But it's Aquaman. Like I expected the cheesiness, but I feel like it was a bit too cheesy, and I feel like there was no like serious. Like there was like one darkest moment is probably the trench scene, which there was going to be a trench movie, and then they cancelled it, and that was secretly going to be a Black Manta movie. Which, I mean, it's fine. We're going to see him in Aquaman too. So, it's Aquaman, great movie. I recommend you check it out. It's a great movie. James Wan did a great job in this movie. I hope he stays in those Aquaman 3, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to Aquaman Lost Kingdom. So, number 7, I have Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. Now, this movie, I'm talking about the Ultimate Cut. I'm not talking about the theatrical cut. Which the theatrical cut, they cut 30 minutes from the Ultimate Cut. Which, if you're to watch this, I recommend you check out the Ultimate Cut. I love this movie. I love Henry Cavill as Superman, Ben Affleck as Batman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. We get an introduction to the Justice League and the DCU. I like Jesse Eisenberg's Lex. I get what they were trying to do with it, but I just feel like Bryan Cranston probably could have done it better. I didn't like Doomsday. I feel like Doomsday shouldn't have been in this movie. I didn't like how they put The Dark Knight Returns and The Death of Superman in one movie, and I feel like this probably would have been so much better if it was a world's finest movie. But you know what happened to this movie? It wasn't good. I think it did 400's opening weekend, and it dropped the second weekend, and it sucks. But I mean, I think out of the 3 movies Zack does, I think this is probably my least favorite one. Like I prefer Man of Steel and Zack Snyder's Justice League over this, but it's a good movie. I probably feel like if it was a world's finest movie, it probably would have done better. The Ultimate Cut, as much as I like it, I honestly don't think people would sit for a 3-hour movie in the cinema. I think Henry Cavill Superman. I think he just regresses too much in this. So he's not the best part in this movie. The best part in this movie is Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot. But I like the ending. I like the Trinity scene. I like some of the quotes, like The Death of Superman. Even though it was emotional, I just didn't feel anything. I just feel I was too early because Henry Cavill only had one movie before this, and yeah. So BVS, I watch Henry now and then. It's not my favorite of the 3. Like if I was to watch Zack Snyder's ones, I would watch Watchmen or Man of Steel or Zack Snyder's Justice League. So there's Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. It's a great movie. I enjoy it. And a lot of people don't like it. I like it for what it was. I hope we get world's finest movie in the future. So yeah. Number 6, I have Man of Steel. Now, this is probably the second favorite Zack Snyder movie. This was the first DC movie, and it stars Henry Cavill as Superman. And you have Amy Adams as Lois Lane, which I think was good. Michael Shannon was great as Zod. Kevin Costner was good as Jonathan Kent. You have Diane Lane as Martha Kent, which was great. You have Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White, which the people complain about. I didn't care if he was black. It was Lawrence Fishburne. Like he's one of the best actors like in recent years. Like he's a really good actor. And we have Russell Crowe's Jorah, which was great casting. Which I love the Kryptonics. I wish we had a prequel to Krypton. We were gonna get one, but we got the TV show Krypton, which wasn't connected. But I love this movie. I like how we're going to be revisiting this one, the Flash movie. Michael Shannon's come back. Fiora's coming back. I just like it. Henry Cavill. I think my only problem with this movie, I don't like the chemistry. I feel like there's no chemistry between Henry Cavill and Amy Adams. But I think overall it's a really fun, great movie. I love the action. I love the score by Hans Zimmer, specifically the flight scene. And it's just a good movie. I just enjoy it. Like I know that people don't like it because it's like way different. I feel like in terms of like the tone. My only problem is I don't like how Jonathan Kent died, and I don't like how Superman killed Zod. I feel like Zod is such a good villain. I hate how they killed him off, which he's coming back in the Flash movie, but it doesn't matter. So I wish they did a sequel. They were gonna do a sequel to this, but James Gunn said no, so we're gonna do. He said they're not gonna do it. They're gonna do a reboot soon, which I'm looking forward to. Superman Legacy. Like I like this. I like this movie, and I like Superman 1 and 2. Returns is okay. I don't like 3 and 4, but yeah, man, it's still a good Superman movie. So next, number 5, we have Shazam. Now, this is the 7th movie in the DCEU. And this is the first introduction to Shazam. Well, we had Shazam Serial, the TV show, but this was the first feature-length film based on Shazam, which I didn't know anything about Shazam. I know he used to be called Captain Marvel. I think it's coincidence. We have two Captain Marvels. We had one Marvel, we had DC, which we had Shazam and Captain Marvel, which I think is also a coincidence now that we had a Shazam sequel and we have a Captain Marvel sequel in the same year. But yeah, this movie was just great. It was emotional. I love Zachary Levi, Usher Angel, Jack Dylan Grazer. Mark Strong was good as Savannah. You have the Jim and Hunter as the Wizard. It's just a great movie. It's just a fun movie. I love the DC references. I love the emotional. I like how they balance the light and the dark. It's just a great movie, and it was just such a good movie. And I feel like I love Shazam because I like how it's just like it focuses more on the families, more family aspects, and I hope we get that in Blue Beetle. But yeah, this movie was great. This is a great DC, great movie to watch with your kids. It's just a great movie. Because I feel like the DCEU at this point, we never really had a family oriented type movie. We never had one. So yeah, so that is Shazam, great movie. I enjoy it. I go back and I watched it recently. I think right before Shazam Fury of the Gods, and it still holds up. It's still a good movie. And I don't like the Superman where his face was cut, but it's fine. Like I get why they didn't do it because I get why they did it because of scheduling conflicts. They couldn't get Henry on that day, but. Yeah, so Shazam is a good movie. I enjoy it. I recommend you check it out. I just enjoy it. It's a fun movie. I love the action. And yeah, I like the score by Benjamin Wallfish. So yeah. Number 4, I have the Suicide Squad. Now this is James Gunn's Suicide Squad. Basically this came around where James Gunn was supposed to do Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. He got fired by Disney over offensive tweets he did over 10 years ago on Twitter. But he got fired, so Warner Brothers picked him up, and they asked him to do Superman movie or whatever he wants. So he chose the Suicide Squad, in which I think James Gunn, he understands Suicide Squad. I feel you can tell he's a Suicide Squad fan. He added so much stuff in from the comics into the movie, and I just loved it. Like you have 4 members show up from the original one. You have Margot Robbie, Joel Kinnaman, Viola Davis, and Captain Boomerang actor, what's his name? Jai Courtney. I think it's great. I love this one way more than the 2016 one. I feel like this is what Suicide Squad we should have got. And yeah, I like Peacemaker as well. I like John Cena's Peacemaker. All the cast is good. King Shark, Ratcatcher 2, Polka Dot Man, Javelin, all this, the Thinker. I like how they defeat Starro. And yeah, it's just a great movie. Idris Elba's Deadshot. No, not Deadshot, Bloodsport, but yeah, it's a good movie. I saw it twice in the cinema. It's the first DC movie I saw twice in the cinema. I just love this movie. I go back and watch it. Viola Davis is good as Amanda Waller, and it's just a good fun movie. Yeah, I just enjoy it. I hope we get a Suicide Squad, a third one in the future. And a James Gunn run DC. I can see most of these coming back. these actors coming back. We have Peacemaker. We will be getting a season 2. I think before that we will get a Wallace series, and we also have Creature Commandos, which is sort of Weasel, which Weasel was in here in this movie, and it's just a great movie. I just enjoy it. It's just a fun movie. I just love the music. I love the visuals. It's a great movie. I love some of the jokes are good, some of them aren't. I just love this movie. It's just a great. James Gunn did a good job with this movie, and I'm glad he's run DC Studios, which I think is going to currently say DC's in good hands because he did so good with this movie. Suicide Squad. Now we're on the top 3. Now number 3, I have Shazam: Fury of Gods. Now this is the recent DCEU movie. You can see it in cinemas now. Now I was looking forward to this because I love this first Shazam movie. I like as the Door of Atlas. We have Rachel Zegler from West Side Story, Lucy Liu, which I thought was great, and Helen Mirren. The Jim and Hansu comes back. You have Zack. All the cast come back. I thought it was great. I just enjoyed it. I love the emotion. Some of the effects aren't good. I love the music by Christoph Beck, who did the Ant-Man movies. And yeah, it was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. I love Shazam: Fury of the Gods. I like this more than the first one. If I was to go back, I might watch this one more. Cause I think the problem with the first is I feel like it's a bit slow, and then it gets quick, and it gets which I think this movie's good. I watched it twice in the cinema. I might watch it again. It's going to be on digital on Friday, which I think the reason why it's on VOD so quick is that it's not doing well in the cinema. But I think it only made 60 million opening weekend, and it's currently 120 million. So please watch this movie. Now, I don't really know. I thought it would make 500. It didn't even do well in China, which kind of sucks. But Ant-Man isn't doing well either. The Ant-Man's 400. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like this movie was really good. It's such a shame no one saw it, but I think maybe because people just don't like the DC as a whole, going into this movie. And I think also the reason I feel like the marketing wasn't good. I feel like the trailers wasn't good. And I think probably another reason, I feel like Black Adam kind of damaged this movie because I feel like Black Adam I think people just did not like Black Adam. So I'm like, oh, I don't want to watch this one. But yeah, so that's Shazam: Fury of the Gods. Now the last 2, number 2, I have Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman movie. I can't believe it took this long to make a Wonder Woman movie, and it's just great, and it was worth the wait. Gal Gadot is great in this movie. Chris Pine is good in this movie. I just love all the supporting cast. Patty Jenkins did a good job with this movie. You have Connie Nielsen, Robin Wright as Antiope and Hippolyta, and it's just a great movie. This was the first DC movie that was actually considered good. The first one to do good financially and successfully. The scores were great. This was everyone thought, wow, this is the first good DCEU movie. And it was a great movie. It was the first good female superhero movie. And I still think it's the best one. It's better than Catwoman, Supergirl. It's better than Elektra. It's better than Captain Marvel. I watched this over Birds of Prey. It's just a good movie. It's better than Black Widow. So this is Wonder Woman. I love the No Man's Land scene. And the ending is a bit I feel like it probably could have done better. And Eris was good. I feel like the execution would have been better, but I like how the jokes worked. The music was good. I just who did the song? Who did the score? The score was great. Who did the score? It was Rupert Gregson Williams. I think he did Aquaman as well. But yeah, regardless, this was just a great movie. I just enjoyed it. I highly recommend you check it out. It's a good movie. If you don't like the DC movies, I highly recommend you check out Wonder Woman. This is one of the better ones they did. And now number 1, which is Zack Snyder Justice League. This one's obvious. My favorite DC movie, which I was disappointed with Zack Snyder with Justice League. No, with Justice League. Zack Snyder basically announced that Zack Snyder Justice League is coming out. AT&T greenlit it for subscribers on HBO Max, and this one was I thought I never thought we'll have 2 Justice League movies, let alone and it was a great movie. It's a massive improvement over the one we got. I just wish we got this movie in 2017. But I don't think it would have been 4 hours. I feel like the problem with this movie, I feel like it drags on a bit, and I feel like they could have cut a bit out of it. Then I Met Future, it was okay. I didn't like it that much. I love the Martian Manhunter scene at the end. There's so many scenes like Flash saving Iris, Flash saving going into the Speed Force. You have Superman with the black suit. You have Wonder Woman saving all the civilians. You have Aquaman versus Steppenwolf, and Cyborg's. You have Cyborg's backstory, which I feel like Ray Fisher was great in this movie. Yeah, Zack did a good job with this movie. This score was by Junkie XL. And yeah, if you're bored by Justice League, I highly recommend check out this one because this one was really good. There's some stuff I don't like. Like I don't like the women singing to Aquaman, but overall this was just a great movie, and I'm glad we got it while we did, and I'm glad like Warner Brothers are not continuing the Snyders, but I'm happy he managed to do 3 movies, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. So that is it with all the DC movies. Now the next DCU movie will be The Flash, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman Lost Kingdom. So yeah, comment down below. Let me know what's your favorite DCEU movie. So guys, so much for my video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.